Let me guess. That's your final answer?
3 mages have fled to Ferelden, and you have intervened to protect them, as if it is your right to do so. What other answer did you expect, your majesty?
A maybe might have been nice.
I do not deal in maybes. I deal in cold, hard facts. As should you. Perhaps when Ferelden next chooses a king, it will be one that takes his duty to the Maker seriously.
Well, that was awkward.
How do you do, your majesty?
I've been better. Manlier too, come to think of it.
This is the champion of Kirkwall.
Right, I'm Alistair. King of Ferelden. And this is Tegan, my uncle. Sort of.
I'm actually Tegan. I'm only sort of his uncle.
Say, weren't you a Grey Warden once?
That's the rumor. Wait. Weren't you?
That's the rumor.
Huh. I guess we get around. I was hoping we could talk. Would have been better timing before being emasculated by Meredith, but I'm not picky.
I'm surprised you would even know who I am.
I know you came here from Lothering, a Ferelden refugee that did well for herself, against all odds. I have to admit, I was hoping your influence in Kirkwall might be of use. Things haven't been going well with Orlais. Without a Viscount here, however, there's only the Knight Commander to deal with.
You were having an argument about mages.
Yes, well, apparently I don't feel the same way about mages as the Chantry does. So, we're in disagreement. That means they get nasty. They're like that.
Sounds like the Circle is better off in Ferelden.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Sadly, I don't control the Circle. I can only deal with mages outside the Circle, of which there aren't many.
Aren't they in your kingdom? Why not just kick the Templars out?
Ha! Easier said than done.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't try.
Perhaps some things are better left alone.
We'll see what comes of it. Ferelden had a blight to contend with, remember? We're not exactly at our strongest.
A lot of your people fled to Kirkwall, you know.
I know. I wish I could have helped them. Their blight devastated the kingdom, and afterwards, well, it hasn't exactly been peaceful. They're welcome back, of course, as are you. But after so many years away, would you still consider it home?
Ferelden will always be my home.
I hope we see you back there someday. We could use someone like you, champion.
Is there to be a war, then?
I hope not.
You're more optimistic than I am.
Empress Celine is doing her best. Orlais isn't the most stable place right now.
What's happening in Orlais?
Oh, the usual. Attempted assassinations, uprising, fancy parties with stinky cheeses. Apparently, some Orlesians think it would be grand to get their lost province back.
Well, we won't let them swoop down on us, will we?
That's right. Swooping is bad.
Do you really think there's something I can do?
Sadly, it may be too late. Meredith got wind of my arrival sooner than I'd hoped. What you can do is protect Kirkwall. It will take someone like you to keep it from falling apart.
Protect Kirkwall from what exactly?
You ask me, the biggest threat to this city just walked out the door. But maybe that's the ex-Templar in me talking. Well, I suppose I should get back to the old ball and chain.
You know the Queen hates it when you call her that.
No, she doesn't. Just because she killed an archdemon, she doesn't scare me.
You keep telling yourself that, Your Majesty.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but I need your help. The Alluvian won't work, which I'm sure is news that fills your heart with joy. I think I have to go back to the spirit that helped me at the start of all this.
Why do you think this demon will help?
He knows about the mirror. I don't know how much. He won't tell me everything, and it's dangerous to trust. He said he witnessed its forging. He told me how to cleanse it of its corruption. He must know how to make it work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
Well, look at it! Do you think it's supposed to just sit there and show nothing at all? I can feel the power in it, but it's like it's asleep. I can't seem to wake it.
Summoning a demon can't possibly be the only way to fix the mirror. Someone else must know something.
The Alluvian was lost before Arlathan fell. The only creatures who would know anything about it are in the Fade. I've called to the spirit, but he doesn't seem to hear. He was sealed in an artifact on Sundermount. I have to look for him there. But if things go wrong, if he possesses me, I need you to strike me down.
You would risk becoming an abomination for this mirror. How is it worth that?
If it brings back this artifact of the Elven, if it gives us even one piece of our history, it's worth any risk. There's no one else I trust. You wanted to save me, didn't you? So save me from hurting anyone else.
If you're determined to do this, then I'll come with you to make sure nothing goes wrong.
Ah, Serranus. You've no idea what a relief that is. The demon is sealed in a cave on Sundermount. The sooner we get this over with, the better.
Thank you for coming, champion. Few will associate with me now that I am the focus of Meredith's ire, which leaves me in a difficult position. She is not entirely wrong.
Inform the criers. A miracle has occurred.
I know some of my people are using dangerous means to oppose her. But I cannot seek the Templar's aid without making every mage a target.
What are they doing?
All I know is numerous mages have left the Circle at night, sometimes for days at a time. I'd rather not follow our Knight Commander by leaping to the worst possible conclusion. But the idea of blood magic has crossed my mind.
You need some assistance against traitors in your ranks.
Traitors? Perhaps. Rebels? Certainly. I don't know if they seek congress with demons or merely a walk in the moonlight. All I know is that a meeting is happening tonight in Hightown. I would go myself, but should I leave the tower without permission, Meredith would call it proof of my involvement.
I'll see what they're up to. There's no point in involving the Templars.
Thank you. Your support has been a lifeline for me.
For all of us.
Just learn the nature of this meeting. You needn't interrupt unless you find proof of something sinister. I pray not. Or Meredith will have what she needs to justify the right of annulment.
Something is wrong. This is where the spirit was bound. But now it feels empty.
Who bound this demon here and why?
There was a war long ago between my people and the Tevinter Imperium. After the Magisters sunk Arlathan, my people made a last stand here, fighting on the graves of our elders.
I've heard of this. A final vengeful strike. They unleashed chaos upon this mountain to teach our people that resistance was futile.
I don't know if it was the Elvenan or Tevinter who bound the spirit, but he was left here from the war.
Maybe it freed itself?
It would have taken powerful magic to break him free of this prison. You couldn't just set him loose. Nobody could. Not without doing something terrible. This is very wrong.
We're done then. Let's get back to Kirkwall.
No, you don't understand. He couldn't leave this place. Something dreadful had to happen for this cave to be empty.
Why happened?
Keeper. What have you done?
The demon's plan was always for you to complete the mirror. It would have been a doorway out of this prison and into our world. You would have been his first victim. I couldn't let that happen, Dalen.
You stopped it. You saved Meryl.
Not yet. The demon is still here. I couldn't fight it in the Fade while it was trapped. And I couldn't banish it without making it stronger. So, I made myself its prison. Kill me, and it dies too. Meryl will finally be safe.
No! You can't ask that. I won't do this.
You always knew your blood magic had a price, Dalen. I have chosen to pay it for you. Dareth Shira. Dalen.
Keeper.
You've beaten it, Dalen. You are so much stronger than I imagined. The demon is dead.
Keeper,
Let's leave this awful place. The clan should hear the good news.
Welcome back, Keeper. Let's get out of here.
I can hardly believe that's the end of it.
It's truly over.
Such delicious vanity.
Keeper! What have you done? I don't want this! I never wanted this! Creators, please let this be a bad dream! I'll wake up and feel like an idiot and she'll scold me for not listening.
You knew consorting with demons was dangerous. You knew people could get hurt, and you did it anyway.
If there was a price to pay, I should have paid it. She had no right to interfere.
She loved you, Meryl. She wanted to protect you.
Why couldn't she have believed in me? I don't know what to do now. I should go to the clan. Someone needs to know, needs to come and take care of her.
We know the Keeper came here. What's going on? Where is she?
Fenris. The Keeper, she...
Look at her, Fenris. She's covered in blood.
What have you done, Meryl? Keeper? Can you hear me?
She's dead.
I should have guessed you'd turn on her. You monster.
The Keeper turned into a demon. We had no choice.
There would have been no demon, if it weren't for this little flat-eared bitch.
We've suffered enough because of this traitor. It ends now.
Are you ready to go in?
Ready as I'll ever be.
We'll have to look for Drakestone deposits along the sides. There is one more thing I would ask of you, Hawke. And I can't tell you why. I must get inside the Chantry, without being seen. Will you talk to the Grand Cleric for me? Distract her long enough for me to do what must be done.
What do you want me to talk about?
Food? The weather? What does it matter? No, talk of mages. Give her one final chance to hear what we have suffered. To pick a side. Perhaps she'll be more inclined to listen to you.
Tell me your plan.
You would not thank me if I told you. If you support freedom for mages, help me. That's all I can say.
I won't desert you now.
Your loyalty is more than I deserve. I promise, whatever happens, it's on my head. It will not come back on you. Go to the Chantry. Talk to the Grand Cleric. I will join you when I'm done.
Is this for me? It's beautiful. Do you know what it is?
I only know that it was made by the Dalish.
It's sylvanwood, rare as diamonds. You only find it in very old, very wild places. The carvings tell a story of the betrayal, the dread wolf tricking all the gods away from the world.
Start at the beginning. What happened to the gods?
Long ago, there were two clans of gods. The Creators looked after the people, the Forgotten Ones preyed upon us. And one god who was neither. Fenris, the Dread Wolf. He was kin to the Creators, and in the old days often helped them in their endless war against the Forgotten Ones.
Why were they fighting?
No one knows. We barely even remember all their names, let alone who struck the first blow, who was wrong. Fenris was clever. He could walk among both clans of gods without fear, and both believed he was one of them. He went to each side, and told them the other had forged a terrible weapon, a blade that would end the war. He told the Creators it was forged in the heavens, and the Forgotten Ones that it was hidden in the abyss. And when the gods went seeking it, he sealed them both in their realms forever. Now he alone is left in the world.
I imagine the Dalish don't depict the doom of their gods just for decoration.
Not exactly, no. This was made for a keeper, you see. Guarding a clan from the Dread Wolf is a keeper's place. I had one of these once. And I gave it back, Marceranas.
Got a minute, Hawke? I know this is ancient history, but remember that Hightown house Bartrand barricaded himself in? No point in keeping a house for a dead man. I've been trying to get rid of the place for ages now.
I assume there's not much interest in it.
No. There's a really small number of people who want expensive, blood-covered houses in Hightown. I found a minor noble in Ravane who bought the place sight unseen. But now there's a problem. They say the place is haunted.
Anyone who knew the house's history would attribute every noise in the night to ghosts.
I may have neglected to mention the mansion's colorful past to the buyer. They've noticed some minor problems. Voices whispering in the walls, apparitions, things moving on their own. My hope is it's a relic Bartrand brought back from the Deep Roads. We smash it, and the haunting stops.
Very well. We'll investigate the mansion. Again.
Thanks, Hawke. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Guardsmen, duties for the week will be...
Lowtown canvas. 5 on, 3 off.
City perimeter by 2s. Clear by 2nd watch.
Training recruits full metal by week's end.
Anything else, Captain?
No. Thank you. Donnick is a good man. I'm sorry, was there something you wanted?
You never said how your 3 weeks in Orlais went.
You're right. I didn't.
So how was it?
Oh! Anything else?
Your men could give the Templars a run for their sovereigns.
They've had to. As long as there's no Viscount, the Order thinks they can bark at any man in uniform. I won't have it. The people of Kirkwall need to see themselves in their guard. Lose that connection, we're just targets.
Kirkwall seems to have rallied around you.
I try to keep order, and people appreciate that. Everything else is going insane. A few complaints here and there, but for the most part, I think everyone's just glad the guard has been stable for a few years.
Just checking in. Need anything?
Yes, there's something. Come back soon. I'll get into it then.
I'll see you later.
Of course, Hawke.
Hush! Let's use our inside box.
You have no Viscount. It's clear you're suffering without sufficient leadership.
That doesn't grant default authority to you or your commander.
It would be easier if you cooperated.
Wouldn't it?
Guard, Captain.
Trouble?
Yes. He's been hounding me. These Templars strut around as it is, but now it's just out of hand.
Knight Captain Cullen has heard some troubling things.
Such as?
That you coddle the men. Give special treatment.
Someone has dared. Who? Who accuses me of this?
I think it's more important to answer the accusation.
You think it's true?
I think someone thinks it's true.
Then let me give them, and you, an answer. If they think I'm coddling anyone, it'll be my husband, Donnic. You and I will intercept his patrol tonight. Then you can see for yourself if I'm coddling him, or any in my command.
I don't have to see proof. I already believe you.
That's not the impression I got. You raised the doubt, so you get to play messenger. Donnic's patrol, Hawke. Me and you, tonight.
I took this fire gland from a high dragon just outside the city.
You killed a high dragon? Incredible. Let me see the fire gland.
Is there anything you can make from it?
This fire gland is a remarkable specimen. Wait here. I know exactly what I can craft from this. This turned out beautifully. Something worthy of our champion. I hope you can put it to good use.
Look at this. My brother's junk was left here. You wouldn't know it, but Bartrand was a sentimentalist. This came from our estate in Orzammar. When I was 7, I knocked over one of Mother's plates and broke it. My brother yelled at me for an hour.
This was made by the artisans of House Saldras. The clay was from the Adrosituna River, which never sees the sun. Arr!
He was that upset over a dish.
I don't think it was a dish to Bartrand. That stupid plate was the whole city of Orzammar to him.
Are you real? You've got to get out of here before it comes back.
Where's the idol?
What idol?
Don't waste my time with your lies. Tell me where it is.
Take it easy, Varric. She's telling us what she can.
She's hiding something, Hawke. Don't lie to me. I know it's here. You must have found it.
I swear, I don't know anything about an idol. Please. Maker, no! It's starting again!
Uh-oh. This is a piece of the idol. No, I should have known Bartrand would lie to me. Of course he'd keep a piece of the statue for himself. Think of what we could do with this.
Varric, you've been acting strangely since we arrived. I don't think you want to keep that shard.
I know you're just trying to look out for me, Hawke. But I can handle this. It's not the whole idol. It's just a sliver. I need this thing. 6 years of my life have gone into this. My only hope of finding out what happened to my brother is with this shard.
Listen to yourself, Varric. It's already controlling you. You have to let it go.
You're not listening, Hawke. I know I can handle this shard.
I'm worried, Varric. You're beginning to sound exactly like Bartrand.
Fine. I don't really want to argue about this anyway. Take it. It's your problem now. Maybe Enchantment Boy can dispose of the thing for you. Let's go. I think I could use some air.
Have you located any Canary blades?
This is what I found.
Do you require gold for this task?
It's customary.
Very well.
You know, you play Diamondback better than my cousin Vidar. You wag your tail whenever you have a good hand, though. Might want to watch that.
It's a short tale. I'm sure nobody notices.
All I'm saying is he'd be up more than 2 sovereigns if he watched his tells. My Uncle Emmett has a whole pack of rat terriers who play every week. They're a cutthroat bunch. You've got a long way to go to be their quality. Now don't take it bad. You're still better than Anders. Coming to the hangman later?
Think you can do something with this, Sandal?
Is that lyrium? I've never seen anything like that.
It's dangerous. Varric suggested Sandal might be able to dispose of it.
I think my boy can do better than that.
Ooh, enchantments.
A dragon attacked your mine. Everyone is dead.
Dear Maker. What of my equipment? Did it seem salvageable?
The dragon scorched every last cart and shovel.
Oh, my heart. So many years of investment. I am ruined. Ruined! I'm sorry, champion. I appreciate your help, but I sank all my coin into that rotten mine. I have nothing left to pay you.
Give me the bone pit. Perhaps in a few years I can get it back in order.
What? Ha! Fine, take it. I wash my hands of this cursed venture.
Sirrah Hawke. Or is it always champion now? You're too much of a chameleon, my friend.
You made short work of this lot. This is common?
As common as I like. What's going on?
It's all right. Go ahead.
Every guard chooses the patrol they want. My wife promotes from the bold, not the reckless. Action is up, casualties are down. It is remarkable. As are you, love.
Thank you. That will do.
Another time, Sirrah Hawke. Safe travels.
The Resolutionists. I might have known they would be part of this.
Are you Sister Nightingale?
I am. Or you may call me Liliana. The Divine sent me to investigate the possibility of a rebellion here in Kirkwall.
Without informing the guards, of course.
This is an unconventional situation. I have some experience with those.
The Liliana? Who accompanied the hero of Ferelden to slay the Archdemon?
Ah. I see it will be harder to remain anonymous so near the Ferelden border. Yes, I knew the hero of Ferelden. She is an excellent queen for King Alistair. But that was many years ago. I am working for the Divine now, in Orlais. I had not thought to return to this part of Thedas.
Who are the Resolutionists?
An offshoot of a fraternity within the Circle of Magi.
Supported by the Magisters.
There's no proof of that.
I bet a lot of mages think they'd enjoy Tevinter's freedoms, and completely forget that few ever achieve the power to enjoy them.
There have always been factions that support freedom from the Chantry, and the abolition of the Circle. We have tolerated them, but the Resolutionists have become violent. They are likely behind the unrest here.
I appreciate you stepping in back there.
Of course. They mistook you for me, so they must know I am in Kirkwall. The Divine has long suspected that Kirkwall's problems were spurred by an outside group. This attack proves she is right.
Are you saying you set this whole thing up?
I let word slip that an agent of the Divine was coming to investigate the Mage troubles. It is how they chose to react, which condemns them.
Please don't do anything dire. We still have a chance for peace.
And provocations don't help.
Divine Justinia takes the situation here very seriously. She believes it is the worst threat to Thedas since the Cunara invaded.
A handful of apostates. How can that possibly...
The whole world is watching Kirkwall. If it falls to magic, none of us are safe. Tell Elthina to leave. There is refuge for her at the Grand Cathedral in Orlais. She will not be safe here.
Champion, and you are with the captain. None too happy about the accusations against her, I'm sure.
You could say that.
I saw no evidence to support the claims against her.
As I suspected.
Then why press this?
Some feel that the solution to the current crisis of leadership is to consolidate authority. As long as these complaints continue, baseless or not, they will serve as justification for eliminating the position of guard captain. It would be the simplest fix, whether or not I agree.
Perhaps I can reason with the people who are complaining about her.
If they meant to use reason, they would not be anonymous. But the complaints originate in Lowtown.
Guardsman Brennan is on that patrol. Why wouldn't she tell me of this?
I don't know, but I do apologize for the assumptions of this incident, guard captain. It has been unfortunate.
It's not done.
Listen, Hawke. I don't know what came over me back there in Bartran's house. I'm glad you're watching my back.
You had me worried there.
You never have to worry about me, Hawke. What are you having? Edwina, let's get a couple of drinks here. Hawke? This is awkward.
Whatever it is. I'll hear you out, Varric.
Maker, I hate it when you're reasonable. Call me a filthy nug-licker once in a while, for pity's sake. Look, I just want to say, it has been an honor knowing you.
You're a good friend, Varric.
I know. It's hard to imagine what you'd do without me. You know, it's 6 years today. 6 years since I found you dragging your tail out of Bartran's office. Here's to whatever comes next.
Guardsman! Why did a Templar have to tell me there is unrest in this district? What's going on?
Guardsman?
It's Captain Jevon. I didn't report his return because I'm ashamed for him. He's trying to rile the guards against you. But none of us will follow him. You lead better than he ever did.
We've made so many enemies. I don't remember him as that impressive.
He deserves to be forgotten. He abused his position and blamed me when we caught him.
He was well liked by some, but not once the truth was known.
We need to find him. Guardsman?
The guards will have nothing to do with him. So he found others. Militia. Mostly anti-Ferelden. The same kind who were against the Canary. I guess it's been long enough they've forgotten how many the Champion killed.
A rally against the tyranny of the Guard and foreigners who infest Kirkwall.
I'm sorry, Captain.
Return to the barracks.
The Champion? Here?
It's the captain. Are we ready for this?
Too long, brave Kirkwall. You did not throw off all others only to fall under Ferelden influence. Leaderless, displaced, alien hands on the most basic authority. Foreign elite bleeding you.
Jevon! You disgrace yourself.
The Ferelden with the Orlesian name. Is there anyone else who so embodies how far this city has fallen?
This one is all yours, Captain.
Do they know how you sacrificed your men? How you alone disgraced your name?
Bitch! You took everything from me!
You took it from yourself. The Guard know this, and none stand with you. He stands alone. This is no rebellion. It is delusion. A joke inflicted on Kirkwall, your home and mine.
I will not be left with nothing again.
No. You shall have less. Jevon, son of a bitch. You build a good thing, work your hardest, and the past just claws at you.
Jevon failed before he started. You know this.
I do, and he doomed himself. But it smears all of the Guard. I wonder what I would do if my captain lost my respect.
Captain, we're waiting for orders.
Will you accept them?
May I speak freely? There isn't a man or woman here who wouldn't follow you through the void. Captain.
I'll take it. I need a moment, Hawke, but... there is something else. Come back and talk to me.
And so I said, it's a kingdom, and that makes him king. But it's also a country. I find interrogations are better as a two-way affair.
You have no sense in your head. None at all.
You're the real guardian of such things. Keep the bottle. Hawke?
Incorrigible. Utterly. Did you know I've been dead for 7 years? I got word last week. They only just sorted the casualties of Ostagar. The king has offered to reinstate the commission of any surviving officers who will return to Ferelden.
And?
And what?
Does this appeal matter? I thought you were sworn to Cailan.
King Alistair has apparently become something of a sensation. A champion of hope. Regardless of who has the throne, I served Ferelden. The country survives, even if Cailan didn't.
You brought it up. What's your decision?
It's been a strange time here in Kirkwall. Do you ever think about that last night at Ostagar? How it happened? I don't mean the betrayal. Everyone knows the signal went up and the flanking charge never came. But that moment when the tower lit and then... the fight just kept going. It was the oddest feeling. Hope answered with... nothing. I don't like the thought of going out with a whimper, Hawke. Not again.
You enjoyed stringing me along too much.
I can't keep a straight face for anything. But I wasn't always so sure. Thank you for everything. I have so much because of you. I'm here for you, Hawke. And for myself.
Maker's blessing, champion. Have you come to pray?
Can you offer me your blessing?
May Andraste lend you strength until you ascend to be with the Maker. This is a grave time. It is good to know you will face it in the Maker's grace. Is there some other reason you're here?
Have you thought about which side you'll take? Between the Mages and Templars?
It's no secret that you count apostates among your friends, champion. You have done much to fan the flames of rebellion here. We must give Meredith and Orsino time to work out their differences. No good can come of showing favor to one side.
The Maker created mages. Why doesn't he protect them?
I feel for the mages, I do. I would not wish to be locked in the gallows. But I cannot take sides. We are all the Maker's creatures, but magic allows abuses beyond the scope of mortals. I only hope I can balance the needs of everyone. For if it comes to war, it is the people of this city who will lose.
There you are. I've been looking for you all over.
Your Grace?
Your soul is troubled, child. I hope you found a balm for it here.
I wanted you to have this.
What's that? A pillow?
Hand embroidered by my mother. The only thing of hers they let me keep when I went to the Circle.
Why in the name of Andraste would you give that to me?
You've been a good friend, Varric.
You keep your pillow, Blondie. And may you have many more dreams of killing Templars on it.
Hawke, I didn't expect you here, but let me take this time to tell you how much I respect you. You've stood by me when I gave you every reason to turn away. Just remember, whatever happens, I wanted you to know that.
Why are you talking like this?
He'll still be here, you know. Justice. Long after you and I are gone. It doesn't mean the same thing to a spirit. He'll just go back to the Fade.
Usually people don't say things like that unless they're about to stab someone in the back.
None of this is aimed at you, Hawke. I think I've made that clear. I was hoping we'd find a better way, but justice and vengeance are too intertwined. I can't tell one from the other. You have been a better friend than I ever thought to have.
Sister Nightingale says you must leave Kirkwall.
What?
You were right. The Divine will be taking action against Kirkwall, though the sister didn't say what. You must take the holy relics from the Chantry and leave for safety.
Sebastian, I'm surprised at you. Andraste would not thank me for saving a few dusty finger bones and my own skin at the cost of people's lives.
Are you saying you will not flee?
When I became Grand Cleric, I took a vow to the people of Kirkwall and the Free Marches. I will not leave my flock.
Would you let yourself die?
There is no greater devotion than to lay one's life at the Maker's feet. There is no better death than to take the blow for another.
Sister Nightingale took a great risk to warn you. Don't be rash.
Please, Your Grace. Sister Nightingale thinks there will be war.
Then, I must make peace. Settle yourself, Sebastian. I'm in no personal danger. I am Grand Cleric. Who would dare attack me?
If you will not shield yourself, then I will be your shield. You will come through this safely by the Maker's name. I swear it. If Althena won't leave Kirkwall, neither will I. I can't abandon her when the Divine's own agent warned her away.
The Grand Cleric is lucky to have your loyalty.
She'd be luckier were I willing to hit her over the head and carry her away. This isn't her battle. But if these Maleficarum rebel against the Knight Commander, Althena will put herself between them and be torn apart. I must try to make her see reason. This cannot end well. I'm giving it all up. I made a vow to the Chantry, and it was wrong to turn my back.
Sebastian, listen to yourself. You're as impulsive now as the day you turned away from us. Do you think the Maker wants another rashly spoken vow that you'll abandon when the next passion takes you?
I will not...
This is your life, child. Don't spend it being blown about like a weather vane. But here's Hawke. Maybe you can talk some sense into him.
Is the Grand Cleric upset with you?
She thinks I'm fickle, but I mean it. It was wrong for me to break my oath to the Chantry. I've turned against the Maker. And for what? Why would I want to rule Starkhaven and deal with jackals like Lady Harriman for the rest of my life?
You should ask what's best for your people, not just for you.
I do not have hubris enough to imagine it matters to the common people who rules them. Kirkwall does well enough with no one in the Viscount's seat. Someone will take the reins. The fields will be planted, the crops gathered. No one will notice that a Vale lives and isn't there, and I can devote my life to the Maker's will on Thedas.
Don't give up now. You defeated the Desire Demons. All of Kirkwall benefited.
Of everything we've done, I'll never regret that. But I don't know. I've been praying for guidance and had nothing. I cannot return to Starkhaven and subject my people to war without a clear sign that it's the Maker's will. Hawke should do it. Kirkwall needs a Viscount.
Have you asked her if she even wants that?
I watched my parents in Starkhaven. When times are good, the city rules itself. Years could pass and no one would notice who's prince. But when there's famine, when there's war, people look to their leaders. Who does Kirkwall have beyond Hawke?
This is probably a conversation for the two of you to have.
You want me to be Viscount?
Andraste said the Maker is king in the heavens, but it is the kings of Thedas who must recreate his worldly glory. I keep thinking about that. Who better serves the Maker? A brother of the faith, or a prince who can sway a whole city?
A prince can bring the word of Andraste to everyone under his rule.
Althena is risking her life by not deserting her flock. Could I do the same? It's been 15 years since I lived in Starkhaven. The people there are only a memory to me. Kirkwall, the Chantry, that's real. That's where I belong.
You're a man of faith, Sebastian. You would have hated politics.
You're probably right. Bootlicking nobles and bickering farmers, I'd have sent the whole lot to do penance. I do appreciate you hearing me out. You've been a good friend, Hawke. I will stay, as much for you as for her grace.